Welcome back to Solo Marvel Champion. Today's short video is just a follow-up to my deck building video in which I built a Hawkeye deck. I want to answer two questions with this video. What did I learn from playing Hawkeye? And what changes have I made to his deck? Before I answer those questions though, I want to say that the two most important things to take away from this video is the difference between playing cards and heroes rather than simply looking at them. I always encourage you to play cards and heroes that might not look good on paper or that someone else says isn't any good, so that you learn for yourself how they play and feel in a game. Two great examples of this for me are Ant-Man, whose form shifting looked wonky to me, and Spectrum, who a lot of people online will tell you just gets stuck in an unwanted form. I played them for myself and both ended up on my 5 favorite heroes in 2023 list. The second most important thing is that if you're going to test your decks, I suggested Claw, Crossbones, and Collector 1, but you can test against whoever you want. Don't stop at a single villain. Test it against at least 3 villains to get a better feel for how certain cards perform. An example for me in this Hawkeye deck is Heroic Intuition. I never played it in Claw because his first main has a threshold of 6. I did play it in Crossbones because his first main has a threshold of 3, and I wanted to ensure that it didn't pop. So, what did I learn playing Hawkeye? First, I said two things when I was evaluating Hawkeye that I want to touch on. I said that it was iffy if I'd exhaust him to ready his bow since he has an attack of 3. Until playing him, I didn't fully grasp that his damaging arrows do at least 3 damage plus something else, and that can be a really powerful reason to fire off a second arrow. I also said his quiver can be really good, and it definitely is. His quiver is basically virtual extra hand slots, and anytime you can increase your options on a turn and thin your deck a bit, it's a really powerful ability. I wanted to mention those first because they directly relate to the previous segment. I feel more strongly about these cards now that I've played with them. Finally, and this goes along with the first point, is that because you have to choose whether to attack or thwart or shoot another arrow, I wanted to be able to ready Hawkeye. So what have I changed? The biggest change was swapping Monica Chang, her 3 surveillance teams, and the 3 chance encounters, which I was only using on her anyway, for Agent Coulson, a single spycraft which I can play or immediately use as a resource, 3 Turn the Tide for some extra damage, and 2 Justice Served, which are going to get me those readies I want. I then swapped Nick Fury out for Cypher, who is cheaper and can draw me a couple cards after I've fired off a Sonic Arrow. Also, finally, I swapped my 4 Justices for Clear the Areas, and since the cost curve came way down, I swapped a Power of Justice for Specialized Training. The plan is to use it to pull Surveillance Specialist, which increases my thwart, and, with Heroic Intuition, gets me up to 3. This version better rounds out his thwart and attack than version 1 did, and can give me a ready after thwarting something off to either basic attack, or shoot another arrow, or thwart again. Now, I could have just built a shield deck, which is a really strong archetype, but I did that with Scarlet Witch and just wanted to do something else. I've played this version several times and really like the new direction, and I have a loose plan for the Rise of Red Skull campaign. And speaking of the Rise of Red Skull campaign, do you want me to run it with Hawkeye on the channel followed by a campaign review? Please let me know in the comments, and I'm also going to run a poll on my community tab. If I get enough yeses, I'll run a second poll to see if you prefer the comic style, as I did with Mutant Genesis, or normal as I've done with my Next Evolution campaigns. That's it for this. I just wanted to show that after you've built a deck, you can still lose games. I definitely lost some games with version 1. Learn from it, make changes, play it again and test it, and go from there. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, sub, and comment because it really does help the channel grow, and I hope you have a marvelous day.